Okay, guys. So I'm just waiting for a few people to join in before we get started. Um, so for most of you that follow me on a consistent basis, you know that I am a blogger as well as a model and influencer and all. So today I'll be doing an interview with my girl Delsy. She is very, very talented. Okay, she does creative spoken word. She's an artist. She sings as well. And she has a new book coming out and a podcast, so I've pinned that down below. So I'm gonna get Delsy on here at exactly 2 o'clock. Please share this with your friends if you have any friends that are artists. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely hit the question box down below next to comments and ask. We're going through a pandemic right now, so normally me asking my questions would be in person, but we're still gonna get this done the best way we can. So grab a drink, grab some snacks. We about to chop it up with Delsy. And if there's anyone else that wants to do interviews with me, feel free. I don't just interview celebrities. I interview up and comers and anyone that has talent, and I'm all for showcasing that. So again, welcome to everyone who is now joining. So we have about, hey cuz, so we have about 2 minutes until I get Delsy on here. So this is basically just my introduction to the interview today. Again, hey Shakira Boo. So again, if you guys have any questions for Delsy once she joins in, feel free to add it in the question box. I ask that you guys add it in the question box because it's kind of hard to have a conversation with someone and then there's a whole bunch of questions going up in the comments and we have to stop and I have to read. I want to be attentive to her. So we're going to have question time. Again, she is very talented. She also recently was on a few people's lives doing, singing. So I'm going to try to get her to sing or do some of her spoken word. She was on Maggie Carey's live, if you guys are familiar with Maggie Carey, and she killed that. So definitely going to have her on here, and she's going to chop it up with us on her future endeavors. So I'm going to send out the live now to Delsy so we could get her in here. You guys can share this live with your friends. Also, be sure to follow me on my YouTube as well. It's Mysizebarbie 718. Follow my YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, my blog page is Mysizebarbie with 2 E's on the end. Hey boo. So my homegirl is just in, and make sure you guys also follow her podcast. I just love seeing everyone doing dopeness. I feel like we're all in quarantine, but this should be motivation, guys, to perfect your craft and also to maybe do things you've never done before. So or continue doing things that you've done. And me doing my blog thing, I'm definitely continuing by still doing my interviews with all my dope friends and people out there. So Delsy has joined in. Delsy, I sent you a request and let's get this going. So again, guys, please be sure to send this live to your friends. We're about to get into this interview, and if you have any questions, please be sure to, hey Callie B, please be sure to put it in the question box down below. So we're gonna get Delsy up now. Showtime. Hi
Hey,
Delsy, how are
what's up?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
Uh,
Okay, guys, so we have Delsy here. This is my friend, but she's
yes.
also so very talented. So normally I would introduce you. I kind of gave people who joined early a background on what I'm going to be doing, but this is your platform now to basically say, your piece, introduce yourself before we get into the interview.
Okay. Hey, y'all. So my name is Delsy. I'm a spoken word artist, event coordinator, lyricist. for the most part, I've been doing spoken word for about like 6 years. So no, actually like 8 years. But now I'm, branching out into just branding myself, coming with it out with a new book and podcast. So that's just a briefing of, who I am. And I'm pretty much about positive vibes, just trying to like, I'm known as a pastor's daughter. My dad is a pastor. So I'm all about positive vibes and just trying to, kind of help bring everybody together and just create whatever we can.
I love it. I must say, because I've known Delsy for some years now, from college days or whatever, and
Right.
you have always been positive. I click on energy, and your energy has always been dope. So I love it. Please keep that up. Never change. Before we get into
Thank
the
you.
questions, I do have one for you. I mean, being a pastor's daughter, like, how is that for you? I know us being young and the limelight or the lifestyle we want to live may be a little different. Is that hard? Being the child of a pastor.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, yeah, because growing up, it's like everyone expects you to be perfect. Like you have to be this perfect person, like you can't mess up, and it's from birth. So there's just so much pressure
Right.
on you, and it's like, I mean, we're still human, so I'm gonna still make similar mistakes to what, a lot of people make, and it doesn't make me a bad person because I'm a pastor's daughter.
Right.
It's just so it is hard because, I have a lot of friends that I have friends that go to church and I grew up having friends that don't go to church. But it's thank God I've come across great people like yourself that just literally just accept me for, I don't try to like think, oh, I'm a pastor's daughter, so I'm better than anybody. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Cause you have some people like that, unfortunately. But no, I try to just connect so people can understand like why, I'm not in church just because, or I don't serve God because my dad does it, because, what I really, kind of embody, what I value and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I love that. And you're basically marching at your own beat right now. And that's amazing. So first off, Delsy, I've always known you to be like a dope singer. And I hope you know that I'm gonna make you sing on here.
oh my God.
But you don't gotta do it right now.
Okay.
I just want to get in tune with everything else. So I know that you sing, but then you surprised me when you started doing your spoken word stuff. Like, let's
Yeah.
talk about that. When this all started.
Okay. So, when I started doing spoken word, I I was going through a rough time in my life actually. Like I literally just got out of a bad relationship. I have a piece specifically called Self Love that literally talks about that moment of me kind of losing myself to love, losing myself period. And in that time frame, I said, you know what, like I was trying to find an outlet because the only outlet I had was my dad, like my parents. And unfortunately, we can't always go to too many friends when we're going through stuff. So
Right.
I was just praying, and I'm like, you know what, I need to figure out something else. So I've always been writing, but I've had one of my older brothers. He's a musician, and one day he just told me like, hey, like you want to come to this event, this open mic to just kind of like perform. I'm like, no, I don't. But so I
I'm
went.
good.
Right. So I went. And I did it. That was my very first performance. That had to be in like 2011 or 12. And I literally just started off volunteering and just being a part of a lot of things regarding poetry. And
Nice.
I grew a love for that and just kind of mastered my craft within that and used my life experiences to just create more pieces.
So are you more in tune with doing spoken word or singing, or you have a balance at this point?
At this point, I'm creating a balance. I would say I was more in tune for years with spoken word. Over the course of that, I love like Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill. Those are two
Oh,
people that
yes.
like I grew up just like, okay, this is a vibe. So I kind of, I would say those are like my role models when it comes to music. And that's what I kind of try to balance out doing, just rapping, spoken word, singing, trying to create like that whole type of vibe. But yeah, mostly spoken word though. Singing, I just left that alone.
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be getting back in tune with it real soon. But I feel like a lot of people, a lot of singers, specifically like Mary J. Blige, or artists that can really touch down with what they've been going through, make the
Hmm.
best music. Like,
That's fine.
so like you saying that you've been through things, and that's why you started, getting in tune with the poetry side of things. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's when you create, your best pieces. You're being true to yourself, and I think that that's dope because a lot of people can, you know, say they relate. You know what I mean? And when someone
Right.
can relate to real life issues, even if it hasn't been you, but it's real, it's, you know, it's very much more dope. Also, before we continue, guys who's just joining, you guys, if you have any questions for Delsy, this is going to be a different kind of interview because I'm not just sitting down with you face to face like I normally would. So we
Right.
can get, you know, everyone in tuned as well, and you guys can ask questions. So the
Right.
question box down below next to comments, please feel free to write it there because it's easier to continue the conversation. Okay, so basically, you doing all this like you're an author of your own life. But
Yeah.
now I do understand you have something big going on that I'm sure you want to share with everyone. So I'll give you the floor to do that.
Okay. All right, guys. So, like we were saying, yeah, I am a pastor's daughter, and for years, it's like I was always known for that. Like in school, whatever, like everybody just knew like those to go to church or something like that. It was always like a name for me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I gotten older and I started, kind of like there was a time when I didn't even go to church no more. Like I went through a transition in my life period. And in those moments, I realized I've met so much people, like pastors' kids, that struggled with a lot. I met so much people that questioned or had these stereotypes when it came to pastors' kids. And I said, you know what, like I'm not the right about this because I feel like there's a gray area and there's a whole bunch of us, but there's no one
Mm-hmm.
really addressing the issues within church or within like the kids or the youth in church. And I was just like, you know what, like even though you may have people that agree and disagree, there's a gray area that needs to be addressed. So that's what it made me say, you know what, let me just write Diary of a Pastor's Daughter book, Stereotype versus Reality. And then now with everything happening, the book was supposed to release this earlier this year, but unfortunately we got quarantined because right
Right.
after that, I wanted to just go straight and go to LA. I had a few trips planned, and unfortunately all of that had to be canceled. So I said, you know what, it's okay. I'll push back the book release, but in the meantime, let's create. So I decided to come out with the Diary of a Pastor's Kid podcast to kind of wheel everybody into what I'm trying to create. And in
Definitely.
time, yeah,
I
I will
love that
release
you're
the book.
doing that because I've been preaching this like I feel like this whole time, especially on social media, that like we're all going through it, whether we're losing people or not. The world we're
Mhm.
in right now is very tragic, but
Mhm.
you can be positive at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So while you're in quarantine, perfect the craft or take on something that you've always wanted to do, or,
Yeah.
you know, just make yourself a better person. Like, I mean, I do my interviews. Of course, everyone knows I sit down all the time with people, and I don't personally like to do lives, but it's working still because it's keeping me
Yeah.
going and keeping my craft active and keeping me relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, I'm very glad to hear that you're not letting that shortcut you. You're taking the time to still find a way to promote yourself, and I
Yeah,
think
for
that's
sure.
so dope. But I
Mhm.
definitely would love for you to, you know, hit us with a piece if you would like. Your choice.
Okay.
If you guys did miss her on Maggie Carey's live, I was so
Oh
so so so
yeah.
proud of you. I was like, yo, my girl just killed it. And I feel like rappers or whatever, they could rap. They
Right,
take
right.
battles. I think that's dope. But when you have spoken word, it just hit a little different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I would love for you to just, you know, share something with us. And you guys share this live
Yes,
as
share this
well.
line. So, since we were speaking about the self-love, like kind of why I started getting into spoken word, I do have a piece that everybody is in love with. And I actually recorded it. I actually have the track for it now, which I'm gonna drop on iTunes next week. So
Hey,
everyone
get
can
that,
kind of
guys.
just get it. And so this piece is called Self-Love. I know a lot of people have gone through situations, breakups, makeups and all of that, or even just losing ourselves to something or not identifying with things. And so this was a time in my life where I've been through, where I was going through that transition, but kind of found myself again. So here it goes.
Yes, okay.
I loved him. I lost him. I lost myself in searching for my happily ever after. I was serving him like he was my master while he treated me like his peasant. I wasn't serving God, but a human in the flesh. Is funny that the closer we got, the more it felt like it was getting closer to death. The further apart we grew, the more we had sex. I was attached to his lustful connection. I craved him. I loved his affection more than I loved myself. Not being able to acknowledge that I needed help. And I believed you and everything you said. Just like you said, let's make this work. And I took you at your word, although your word was never bond, never safe. You ain't even care if you saw the sky fall because you were too involved with yourself. We were from two different worlds, two different grinds, similar minds, but you couldn't really dig into mine because there was no quality time. You was in love with the canvas, and I attempted to sketch my way into your heart, but your artistic eyes couldn't even see this painting that I had for you. All you saw was your black and white and your favorite color paint, painting your perfect picture and painting your picture perfect. And all I wanted was a perfect picture. Although you threw so much curveballs, you were still my favorite picture. I believed in you. But the difference between you and I was that I fully understood the definition of pursuit. More action, less words. An action figure you were not. A stick figure I became, trying to help you catch your dreams as I lose mine. My aspiration in life was to be happy. And just like Beyonce, you sang sweet nothings in my ears, beautiful nightmares in my sleep, telling me anything to ease this temporary anxiety of you leaving. And every time you had to hit the road, I said, here we go. This generation is tough. And having a relationship in it is a rough ride, because I was your ride or die Eve. If you were Swiss, I was your Alicia Keys. I was your Jada to Will, your Hillary to Bill, your Michelle to Obama. But deep inside, I wanted to be Delsy to Anonymous. And I say that because your name describes something that you are not. Two artists combined should work, but you wasn't focused on me. No time to see that this human being was created to be a helpmeet. Because in God's eyes, I thought we were working. And you would think two people with similar interests and common grounds that it makes sense to work. But you was too focused with them girls in the club wanting to twerk, always spending them dollars, and I'm here wishing like, damn, all them dollars could have really been paying for my college tuition. And I had the loyalty of a Knicks fan because I stood by your side even though I knew you was going to lose. But I just lost myself. I can't believe when he said these words to me. Just leave me alone and have my baby. And I was confused because I tell him to stay, then I say leave, then I say stay, then I say leave. Because you see, us women, we do that sometimes. But we got to remember that there's only one that takes us past the coffins, past the graves, past the tears, past the pain, past the shade. I was so ashamed to step foot in the church. 5 months pregnant, man, what was I worth? But God saw I did not want to be a statistic. But I said, if he put this baby in my life, I guess it's to make a difference. I never speak about this moment because it's too painful to relive. The moment about me losing my kid. 5 months I was attached to my baby girl. All I heard the doctor say was count to 3. When I woke up, there was nothing inside of me. Woke up saying, where is she? Too blinded to see that God took away his human being so he could set me free. Free from a binded relationship. Free from being a single mother with no husband. I was lost. I was tired, full of exhaust, just like Jesus when he took that last breath on the cross and said it is finished. I was done. I thought the devil defeated me. I went from weighing 138 to weighing 117. I didn't even want to be seen. Told I was too skinny, looked like I had a disease, but the only disease that was killing me was idolatry. The idea of false love, false hope. And all of that happened because I was unequally yoked. The importance of having God in your life is so necessary because although I was out in that world, I still feared him. No substance abuse. They laughed at me. I didn't see a clown around, but I realized that clown was me. And I needed to repent. Nas needed one mic. Tyson needed one ear to make sure people heard him loud and clear. And all I needed was his testimony to know that Jesus Christ will always be there. Thank y'all.
Girl. I dropped some hand claps or some fire because I wanted to do the snaps. And then I was over here like, wait, let me get my pen. Let me get sis. That was so dope.
Thank
I got
you.
goosebumps the whole time. If y'all didn't get goosebumps and feel that, y'all gotta get on my live. I
Thank
felt that,
y'all.
okay? Like you went off. And I think I felt it more because it's like a true story. Like
Yeah.
that was so see?
Yes, it was
My
definitely.
hairs are up, okay? Like, oh my God, that was really, really amazing. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
Thank y'all.
Michelle said she couldn't find the emoji to describe how she
Hey,
felt. Listen, like
Michelle.
I was sitting here, first of all, I felt like I was in there listening to somebody just rapping. I'm just like, like, you know, every time you was just hitting it. But that was so deep. Like, you're really dope, sis. But I
Thank
always
you
knew
so
that.
much.
And I feel like you could sing, but girl, spoken word that's a different type of talent right there. That's
Yeah.
different. And I'm
Thank
also
you.
glad because I caught on to the part with you not really sharing your story because it's still something that's hurtful, but
Yeah.
you're using that to create something amazing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that was so dope. I don't even know if I want to do the rest of the interview. Like I'm just sitting here stuck. Like I'm so stuck. You did so good. Like I just want so much more for you, and I'm glad that you have a podcast coming out. You have a
Thank
book. When
you.
people hear this, they want to hear. If y'all want to hear more, can I please get like a praise hand? Please, we want to hear more. So there is a question here, and I'm gonna hit it. But
Okay.
everyone who just joined,
Get
if you
it.
have
And
any,
so this piece is called Self-Love. I know a lot of people have gone through situations, breakups, makeups, and all of that, or even just losing ourselves to something or not identifying with things. And so this was a time in my life where I've been through, where I was going through that transition, but kind of found myself again. So here it goes.
yes, okay.
I loved him. I lost him. I lost myself in searching for my happily ever after. I was serving him like he was my master while he treated me like his peasant. I wasn't serving God, but a human in the flesh. Is funny that the closer we got, the more it felt like it was getting closer to death. The further apart we grew, the more we had sex. I was attached to his lustful connection. I craved him. I loved his affection more than I loved myself. Not being able to acknowledge that I needed help. And I believed you and everything you said, just like you said, let's make this work. And I took you at your word, although your word was never bond, never safe. You ain't even care if you saw the sky fall because you were too involved with yourself. We were from two different worlds, two different grinds, similar minds, but you couldn't really dig into mine because there was no quality time. You was in love with the canvas, and I attempted to sketch my way into your heart, but your artistic eyes couldn't even see this painting that I had for you. All you saw was your black and white and your favorite color paint, painting your perfect picture and painting your picture perfect. And all I wanted was a perfect picture. Although you threw so much curveballs, you were still my favorite picture. I believed in you. But the difference between you and I was that I fully understood the definition of pursuit. More action, less words. An action figure you were not. A stick figure I became trying to help you catch your dreams as I lose mine. My aspiration in life was to be happy. And just like Beyonce, you sang sweet nothings in my ears, beautiful nightmares in my sleep, telling me anything to ease this temporary anxiety of you leaving. And every time you had to hit the road, I said, here we go. This generation is tough. And having a relationship in it is a rough ride because I was your ride or die Eve. If you were Swiss, I was your Alicia Keys. I was your Jada to Will, your Hillary to Bill, your Michelle to Obama. But deep inside, I wanted to be Delsy to Anonymous. And I say that because your name describes something that you are not. Two artists combined should work, but you wasn't focused on me. No time to see that this human being was created to be a helpmeet. Because in God's eyes, I thought we were worth it. And you would think two people with similar interests and common grounds that it makes sense to work. But you was too focused with them girls in the club wanting to twerk, always spending them dollars, and I'm here wishing like, damn, all them dollars could have really been paying for my college tuition. And I had the loyalty of a Knicks fan because I stood by your side even though I knew you was going to lose. But I,
Mm.
but I just lost myself. I can't believe when he said these words to me. Just leave me alone and have my baby. And I was confused because I tell him to stay, then I say leave, then I say stay, then I say leave. Because you see, us women, we do that sometimes. But we got to remember that there's only one that takes us past the coffins, past the graves, past the tears, past the pain, past the shade. I was so ashamed to step foot in the church. 5 months pregnant, man, what was I worth? But God saw I did not want to be a statistic. But I said, if he put this baby in my life, I guess it's to make a difference. I never speak about this moment because it's too painful to relive. The moment about me losing my kid. 5 months I was attached to my baby girl. All I heard the doctor say was count to three. When I woke up, there was nothing inside of me. Woke up saying, where is she? Too blinded to see that God took away his human being so he could set me free. Free from a binded relationship. Free from being a single mother with no husband. I was lost. I was tired, full of exhaust, just like Jesus when he took that last breath on the cross and said it is finished. I was done. I thought the devil defeated me. I went from weighing 138 to weighing 117. I didn't even want to be seen. Told I was too skinny, looked like I had a disease, but the only disease that was killing me was idolatry. The idea of false love, false hope. And all of that happened because I was unequally yoked. The importance of having God in your life is so necessary because although I was out in that world, I still feared him. No substance abuse. They laughed at me. I didn't see a clown around, but I realized that clown was me. And I needed to repent. Nas needed one mic. Tyson needed one ear to make sure people heard him loud and clear. And all I needed was his testimony to know that Jesus Christ will always be there. Thank y'all.
Girl, girl. Drop some hand claps or some fire, cause Delsy, I wanted to do the snaps, and then I was over here like, wait, let me get my pen. Let me get sis. That was so dope.
Thank
I got
you.
goosebumps the whole time. If y'all didn't get goosebumps and feel that, y'all gotta get on my live. I
Thank
felt that,
y'all.
okay? Like you went off, and I think I felt it more because it's like a true story. Like
Yeah.
that was so. See, Delsy,
Yes, it was
my
definitely.
hairs are up, okay? Like, oh my god, that was really really amazing. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Um,
Thank y'all.
Nichelle said she couldn't find the emoji to describe how she felt.
Thanks,
Listen, like
sis.
I was sitting here. First of all, I felt like I was in there listening to somebody just rapping. I'm just like, like every time you was just hitting it, but it was that was so
Thank you.
deep. Like you're really dope, sis. But I
Thank
always
you
knew
so
that,
much.
and I feel like you could sing, but girl, spoken word that's a different type of talent right there. That's
Yeah.
different. And I'm and
Thank
I'm also
you.
glad because I caught on to the part with you not really sharing your story because it's still something that's hurtful, but
Yeah.
you're using that to create something amazing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that was so dope. I don't even know if I want to do the rest of the interview. Like I'm just sitting here stuck. Like I'm so stuck. You did so good. Like I just want so much more for you, and I'm glad that you have a podcast coming out. You have a
Thank
book. When
you.
people hear this, they want to hear. If y'all want to hear more, can I please get like a praise hand? Please, we want to hear more. So there is a question here, and I'm gonna hit it. But
Okay.
everyone who just joined, if you have any questions, please hit the question box next to the comments, and Delsey's gonna answer. Right?
Yes.
So this is not really a question, but it's a comment. I love that. So Iceberg Slim says, "God bless. Keep going. Don't stop."
Thank
That
you.
was super
Appreciate that.
amazing. If you guys are just joining the live, you guys missed a dope piece from Delsy, but I am gonna be saving this live as well. So if you missed it, don't worry about it. Also, if you want a copy of her book, Delsy, please give them the information of when your book will be dropping.
Yes, I will definitely. It's supposed to, I don't have a release date yet, but we're aiming towards the end of the year. So stay tuned, probably between November, December. So may have a nice Christmas gift for people.
I think that's
But
a dope gift because everybody
yeah,
getting this quarantine got them jacked up right now.
for
Okay,
sure.
and then the podcast is supposed to be coming out this week.
Next week,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So next week is Diary of a Pastor's Kid podcast. And I did that literally so I can have more people involved.
Nice.
When I drop the book is more so it is talking about like the different views, and you'll get a more deeper look into like my life and other pastors' kids' life and what that's really about, and like in depth. Like the podcast, what I wanted to do was just kind of talk about the gray areas with other pastors' kids, with other people that I know that may have questions about like church, and or people that have been church hurt or whatever the case may be, so we can just chop it up. So I have like certain episodes. I have other pastors' kids that I know, some known, some that I just grew up with, to just kind of talk about that. Surprisingly, a lot of people I didn't even know so much people like was a pastor's kid. Like when I
Yeah, you
started
would
doing,
be surprised.
yeah, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, I didn't know that. So it's
Yeah, but
it's
that's
pretty
that's
cool.
what's so great about it. Like you can share your story and it can be so relatable to so many people.
Yeah,
And people turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, that's me too. Oh yeah, I know this. I've been like this too. Or I've experienced this too."
yeah.
This is great. So question, when it comes to your book, are you going to be having hard copies as well, or is it just going to be like online or both?
Yeah, the plan is, yes, to have online and hard copies as well, and they will be in certain bookstores, which we're working on now. I did have a trip to the UK in October. I don't think I'm trying to go there this year, but
Yeah,
next year,
all this going on, right.
but
But
next
where
year
there's
when I
a
get out there,
where there's a will, there's a way. Things will
for
happen
sure.
how they're supposed to.
Yeah.
There is another question, and again, if you guys have any more questions for Delsy, just hit the question box down below. So Nichelle would like to know, are you back in church now?
I am actually. It did take a while. My views towards, I would say I'm back in church, but a lot of my views towards church is really different. Because when I was younger, growing up in church, it's kind of like you were doing what you were told to do. You didn't really
Right.
know the life. You were just going because I had to get up every Sunday. I had to go Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. Like I was in church, like for friends that knew me in like junior high school and high school, like I was in church all week,
Yeah,
and
Delsy
then
ain't
they
coming outside. She going to church. No, she
facts
don't
like
don't ring her bell. She can't play double dutch. She gonna be in church.
right, like that's a whole fact. Like it was crazy. And then as I became older, like that's when I went through a transition. I had and when I got into high school, I still was going to church, but after high school is when I got in that relationship, and like my world changed completely. Like I would say I did leave church. I didn't leave church because of rebellion. I left church, and I do talk about this in the book because I felt like there were certain missing pieces. Like I feel like certain with youth in church, like you got to pay attention to them. You know what I mean? Like we could be going through a lot, and just because I'm a pastor's kid doesn't mean that there's an exemption for PKs. And
Right.
so I left church because I just wanted to experience what it would be without being there. Like it wasn't a rebellious stage. It was more so like I'm just trying to discover and see what's up. And then my parents like weren't. They were like stern, but they allowed me to, like, they literally was just like, all right, like
They're
if this
allowing you
is,
to be you.
yeah,
So
they
that was
did.
gonna be my next question. Like, even with you doing the spoken word, how did they feel about it? I mean, it's not like you're a rapper and you're just being
Yeah.
raunchy, but they might have views on it. Are they supportive?
That's a great question because I would say more so when I started rapping, I was trying to rap like that was like a concern for me. But like when I started doing spoken word, my mom is actually a poet too. Like she
Oh
was writing
wow.
a lot of books. Like she wrote like a book, a poetry book. Maybe I had to be a teenager around that time. And she always used to tell me, because I'm Hispanic, so my mother and my dad would say like, you should just try writing something in Spanish. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try that one day, but I haven't mastered that yet. But
Okay.
I'm going to try that. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, challenge
That
yourself. Go for it,
yeah,
sis.
yeah. So
So
yeah,
that's
it was.
dope. You're following your mama footsteps, low key.
Hmm. Yeah, low key. Yeah. So they're happy. Like the first time I even recited the self love poem to my dad, he started crying. Like he literally
Oh.
cried and hugged me because I think he knew, like, they knew they were around for that hard period of time, like that hard time in my life. But I don't, when they hear it, I think it just hit him different. Like, I didn't know my daughter really was internally going through all of this. And my dad literally just held me and hugged me and told me how proud he was of me. So I think they're literally like happy with me.
Yeah, I feel like even listening to you, I told you gave me chills, but it's the chills didn't come just because of your story. You could
Mhm.
hear your passion, Delsy. Like,
Oh,
if I
thank
could have
you.
cried, I would have, but I'm trying to keep it cute. Okay, but it does have that effect. And like
Yeah.
again, your parents is a lot different. They see what you're going through, but like you said, hearing it, I'm sure that was like really big.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
definitely want to say that this is amazing. I'm so proud of you and all your future endeavors. Like I totally support you. I think we need to do like a book signing.
Yes,
I have a vision for that.
absolutely.
We should do like a really dope book signing.
Yes, that is the plan. I was trying to that's what I was working on in April, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you Corona." But but
It's okay. It's giving you time to regroup
it
and
is.
do other things.
Yeah, and that's a good, and that was a good thing about it too, because I was stuck in a moment of like, gosh, like I really, I had to tell myself like, just because this is happening, it doesn't mean like this is still my year, like this is still our year. It's just a time to just pause, reset, and literally like get in tune with yourself. So like
Exactly.
that's like literally I'm doing things I didn't even think I knew how to do, like
That's right.
so I think this is a good get in tune with yourself and create, like, if you can.
Yeah, it's a
So
good
yeah,
time for a reset. I feel like the world needed a reset, and
yeah.
so I'm just so proud of you. Like you're really taking advantage of it in like a
Thank
positive way. This is
you.
really, really amazing. Now, if you could do a collaboration with anyone, um, who would it be,
Hmm.
and in what form? Because you are multi-talented now. So would it be? Well, you said the singing thing is probably off for right now, but just let me know who would it be and what would it be.
If I can do a collab with anyone like in the industry right now,
Hmm.
to be honest, two people came to my mind. Um, The first person was Jill Scott. Like that's just all the way. Like I
I
would do it.
that.
I would love to do. I would love to her to just perform and do her thing, and then I just come out of nowhere, like, or just kind of start it off, and then she do her thing because she's the goat. So I just would love opportunity. And the crazy thing is, in March I was actually going to Florida. I joined a competition for the jazz festival, a poetry competition that she was a part of, and I was like, oh my god, I could have met her, but we had to cancel everything. So that's like one person I would die to work
I think
with.
that's dope. Don't worry, it's
Yeah.
coming. We putting in the atmosphere. Jill Scott's gonna see this interview, which by the way is gonna be on my YouTube channel as well, and
Yes.
on my I have a blog page as well, so I'll be posting it on that as well.
Yes.
Okay, and who's the second person?
Common. Like
Common.
Common is the like last year. I love Common. Like he's just conscious. He's very positive and light, and he's smart. And I think there's conversations I just want to have with him just because of his intellect. And so
Yeah.
I definitely think I would love to do something with Common because he could kind of show me how to balance, just doing a spoken word, or even becoming like, even with rapping or becoming a lyricist in that sense. I feel like he can help me like get well grounded in that. So Common is there for sure. Those are the two top.
I actually love those two options. And yeah, Common is super dope. And I think Jill Scott would like whatever type of performance that will be or show, it will be something to see. For real. For real.
Yeah,
And I'm
I'm
not even
tired.
just saying that because, I like you or whatever. Like, you're so
Oh,
dope,
thank
Delsy. I'm going
you.
to keep saying it because I really felt it. I'm glad we got to showcase it. But
Yeah.
I told you that I want you to sing. So,
Oh my gosh.
listen, y'all. Delsy is talented with her spoken word, but this girl can sing, and that's never going to change. So, the fact that you want to give that up, that's all on you. But I'm going to need you to sing. Even if this is the last time that you're going to be doing it, it's going to be on my live right now. So, I'm going to need you to sing. But you need
Okay.
some tea because we don't. I know you don't need none of that.
Nah. Oh, well, I could say, oh, hey, I actually was working on. I had this thing and I was playing. It's like a rap and sing type of thing. I guess I could do that.
Yeah, because
Um.
I mean, the people are requesting for you to do another piece, which I'm
Oh.
open to as well. Listen, this is your platform to promote what you have coming,
Yeah.
and people are now joining. And you guys, please share this live. And when you
Yeah.
share it, tell your friends, yo, you got to watch this shit. Just like
Uh.
that. Share this live, and I'm gonna let you do your thing, Delsy.
All right. Let me see, because I had the instrumental. Y'all, let me know if y'all can hear it though. Can you hear it?
It's kind of low.
All right. You can hear it now.
I hear. I'm sure I'll be hearing you more than
All
that.
right. Cool. All right. I'm gonna do it for y'all. This is like I like to do like freestyles and like to instrumentals, like regular um songs that y'all know. So I did this one to Location by
Oh,
Khalid.
send me. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about you and I just want you to know that. Hold on, let me run this back. All right, I got y'all. I got y'all right now. Yeah. It's all about you, and I just want you to know that I want to build with you so we can have a throwback. Look for the weekends off and overseas memories. I'm trying to be with you, so can't you see? Totally. Can you be priority? Number one seniority. Come on, baby, roll with me. Listen to some Jodeci. I'm trying to be so into you, like to me, and while we sit, link up after work, drink some sangria, yeah. I'll be down to ride, cause baby boy, I got your back. I know you got my tool, I cater to you, just relax. Cause you're mine and I'm yours. And when you get home from work, I want you to just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You work so hard, I cook you something to eat. Yeah, I wanna be so damn good to you. You drive me crazy. Cause you're the truth, boy. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You work so hard, I cook you something to eat. Yeah, I wanna be so damn good to you. That was
That was cute
like
though.
that was I be trying to do
I
little
see what you was
remixes,
doing.
little
I
remixes.
see what you was doing there, Delsy. That was really cute.
And then I
And
just
now
be
we have
singing
so
in
much
church.
more people in here.
Hey
I
y'all.
hope I'm not like draining you,
No,
but
this
being
is
that
fun.
it was highly requested for you to hit us with another something one of your pieces.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask for you to do that again for everyone just
Hey y'all.
joining. Thank you for joining. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit the question box next to the comments, and you can ask Delsy. But if you missed this live, I'm gonna be saving it. But we're gonna have Delsy do another piece because she was just so dope. So we were requesting that.
Okay. So, I'm in the aisle three cheering. I'm weak. So, I'm going to do, since it's a lot going on with the whole Ahmaud situation, and a lot of, I have a poem that's called "Where's My Freedom," and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get it a little
Very
serious.
fitting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do "Where's My Freedom," just because I feel like this could kind of resonate with us right now. And I
Yeah.
wrote this I think I wrote this a little while back as well. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Let me see. Let me mute this. Okay. Subliminal message recall from kindergarten. It was Monday morning. Couldn't wait for morning assemblies, whole auditorium at their feet, color guard down the aisle, everyone face front, right hand on chest, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Followed by the Star-Spangled Banner and a Black National Anthem. Lift every voice. But I can't sing a song of freedom. I can't sing a song of victory. I can't sing an anthem of joy when I haven't felt joy in the morning. When every news and when every morning in the news I see nothing but misery, nothing but a broken democracy, nothing but political controversy. So how can we sing? We've been singing "Let Freedom Ring" since 1962, trying to escape slavery since 1859. Oh, to Harriet Tubman. I freed 1,000 slaves, but I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. Because ironically, we're still slaves to our minds, you see. Time to live, time to see progression and change is like a modern day railroad. In other words, the MTA. The MTA sucks. We upgrade and remodel the way it looks, but there's still no change in the way the system works. And they say our cities are better because they're gentrified. I say it's only easier to identify a brother committing a crime because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Officer says hands up, walk straight on that white line. Officer says keys on top, hands on the wheel, don't speak. But saying you have the right to remain silent is still a thin line because I can stay put, run, and still die. So that means our rights are still wrong. So again, where's our freedom? But this is the land of the free. Bro, please. The only thing free is a cool breeze on the beach because everything has a cost. And just like Jesus, when he died on that cross for you and I, took away all our sins and iniquities. So when we actually sing, lift every voice and sing, it would actually let earth and freedom ring because these sweet harmonies have turned into auto tunes. And the only liberty I see is the statue. I started to cry. Teardrops fell to the ground, the sweet sound of hurt. My brother was innocent. His beautiful black skin was scraped right across the pavement. I wanted to save him. Let him go, let him go. He said, Delsy, no, I'm good. You see, these are the type of things that happens to a brother in the hood. So again, where's our freedom? But I believe that if we put our minds together, we can make a difference. But we waste time protesting on social media, but never any action. Reposting famous quotes only for a reaction, but there can never be enough satisfaction in knowing that one day I may be a mother to a little black boy who will be God's gift. And it's scary, but yet amazing because throughout all these struggles, throughout all these fights, throughout these sleepless battles, throughout all these nights, our God is still amazing. His grace is still sufficient. His grace is what allows us to be successful. His grace is what delivers our sons and daughters from all harm. His grace is forever my alarm. Because when I sleep, I dream of a heavenly eternity. His grace keeps me. And although we walk these streets every day, not knowing that it may be our last day, we must remember that our God will forever have the last say. So when they say justice isn't served, it really is, because to me, the real justice is being saved. So that's where's my freedom. I ain't do that in a while, so.
Wait, can I after that? Because, honey, I got watery eyes. The goosebumps again, bitch. I got hairy arms, okay? I loved it.
Thank
That is
you.
like so suiting right now. Everything you said is all facts.
Yeah.
Sad life we living in. And yes,
Yeah.
we all, if we don't already have kids that are, little black boys, we may in future. And this is the life we living in, where we got to be going through and teaching them.
Yeah, that's
Girl,
scripture.
Coco says snaps. Coco, I can't even snap. Like, I'm stuck. I wanted to snap the first time I got stuck. Delsy, that was amazing. I think
Yes,
everyone enjoyed it. All the hand claps, all the flowers, all the tears, all the
yes.
goosebumps. I'm seeing all the comments now. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Very
Thank y'all. Y'all so
So
dope.
before Delsy goes, I do want to say thank you again for,
You're welcome.
sitting down with me to have this interview. If you guys are not following her, please do. I'm all
Yes,
for following people with substance,
yes,
someone that, we can learn from, we can get encouragement from, motivation from, and I feel like we can get all of that from you.
yes.
And,
Thank you.
I want you to just continue to strive to be the amazing woman you have become. Continue to be that.
Thank you. I
And
really appreciate you.
I really want everyone to just get her book. Stay in tuned
Yes.
because we
Get that
want more.
podcast. Listen,
This was
tune
just a
into my
taste, guys.
podcast. Yes, it's gonna be on Spotify, iTunes, Anchor app. So make sure y'all listen to that when the book releases. Of course, you're gonna see that on my social media. And yeah, like we'll do that book release sign in, have everybody come in and just, show some love, maybe a book reading. So I'm like the positive side, like, yeah, like we can go to church and it's not just about being in the four walls. Like there's so much that I've done outside of that. So my ministry is not just church. It's just literally just being able to be a servant to others, like to pour into other people. Like that's what I live by. And it's further than just being within four walls. It's like I'm going to the detention centers. I'm here. I'm supporting you. And that's what we got to continue to do and strive for. So yeah.
Yes, and I commend you on that. And you've given me so much motivation. I think I'm about to go write me some spoken word.
Yes,
I don't know
sis.
if it's gonna come out like that, but no, I'm really, really, really like, motivated and inspired. Not to even do what you do, just to know that you're motivated to just be a better person and use these times to, create that.
Thank
And
you.
also, to everyone who has just joined, thank you again for joining. You guys also helped make this interview because your comments were like really appreciated. I'm sure
Yeah.
Delsey appreciated it. The
Yes, a
feedback
lot
was
of
very
love.
great. Yes, I really appreciate the feedback. Nichelle, do not laugh. I was reading something that popped up on my phone. Thank you. But yeah, so we're gonna just, call this the end, but we're definitely gonna have another touch base,
Yeah, for
hopefully when you
sure.
get that book and the podcast drops.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yes. Follow
Bye,
me, y'all.
honey.
Bye.
Bye.